Hey guys, this is Wildcat Chris Harris, TNA original and one half of 6-time TNA World Tag Team Champions, America's Most Wanted. You are listening to the TNA Cross the Line podcast.
TNA Wrestling, Cross the Line.
And we're back with episode 262 of the TNA Cross the Line podcast. I'm Colling Jr. With me as always, Dallas Gridley in Dallas. The fight for the right to challenge Sting for the NWA World Championship continues tonight. How pumped are you to find out? Not even this week. It'll be next week to find out who is going to challenge Sting at Genesis.
I've never been more excited for anything in my life.
That's
I love wrestling tournaments. Love tournaments.
It's your favorite pastime.
Love them. I like when they go 3 months long usually. No, I freaking
sometimes longer.
I think I've decided I hate tournaments. Like
you didn't even like King of the Ring?
Maybe at the time, but I think now I don't.
Wow.
I've decided right now. You know, I think, like, for example, let me just a little sidetrack here. Like, I really want to watch more Japanese wrestling. I enjoy it a lot. It's very good. I just don't have the time. But all they do is tournaments. Like New Japan, it's like, okay, you have the Super J Cup, you have the Tag League, you have the Junior Tag League, you got the New Japan Cup, you got the G1 Climax. It's like, holy, and they all last like a month long at least. Mm. And you have obviously your big stuff here and there. And by the way, that's not just New Japan. That's not a knock on them. Noah does the same thing. All Japan does the same thing. I just can't get into that anymore. So I just don't like tournaments. For some reason, I like especially don't like tag team tournaments.
Yeah, tag team.
I don't know.
Can be annoying.
I know it's weird. I feel bad about it at times, but yeah, that's what it is. Anyways, it's the Fight for the Right tournament, and at least this one's a short one. On our last episode, Bob, we saw the infamous Reverse Battle Royal as stage 1 of the tournament. Absolutely innovative, creative, and, of course, a ratings draw for the kickoff of this tournament. So, we saw that on our last episode. I'll run down the card momentarily. I actually was just scrolling because I wanted to see if I actually do have ratings. I do, actually. Okay, so we'll talk about that soon. So on our last episode, we technically only saw like 2 matches, Bob. Even though if you go on Cage Match, it's listed as 4 because of the different stages of the Fight for the Right tournament.
Okay.
So,
well, I would separate it into 4. Yeah.
Okay, we saw 4 matches. Ish. The first one, we saw LAX defeat the Naturals to retain their NWA Tag Team titles in 2 minutes and 10 seconds. And I got to say, that felt like it went about 10, but that's because of the brawl with AMW in the beginning, and then the segment that happened after where Andy Douglas and Chase Stevens kind of knocked up Shane Douglas a little and made his mouth bleed, and he was really happy about it.
He was that's
very
what I've been looking for.
Cut the fucking music.
Cut the fucking music.
Or what's he saying, TNA? Cut the damn music.
Yeah, he can't be nearly as
right.
vulgar.
Correct. Then we saw the Fight for the Right tournament Reverse Battle Royal to kick off stage 1. Okay, so ready for this mouthful? Abyss, AJ Styles, Chris Sabin, Christopher Daniels, Lance Hoyt, Robert Roode, and Ron Killings moved on to stage 2 by defeating Brother Devon, Brother Runt, Christian Cage, Eric Young, James Storm, Jay Lethal, Kazarian, Kip James, Raven, Senshi, and Sonji Dutt. That first stage lasted 4 minutes. Now, in order to get into the second stage, there's only 7 slots, and you had to go from the floor over the top rope into the ring, and then you were qualified for the next stage. Also, during that part of the match, we did see a Maverick Matt Bentley in Raven's Perch with some face paint, some crazy color hair. Very interesting part of that whole situation. So
this would be the second time he's changed his look in like 2 months
for Maverick Matt?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess if you consider the stuff with Kazarian, then yeah.
I would absolutely consider that a change in his look.
I mean, it's like, that's like subtle.
Was he wearing ripped jeans before? No.
No, but they were matching each other, so I get it. But anyway, so yes.
That's a change. That is a change of look.
I guess.
Jesus Christ. This guy.
After that.
I mean, I guess, Bob.
After the reverse battle royal, there was a battle royal. So, Abyss and Lance Hoyt were the last remaining competitors who threw out Styles, Sabin, Daniels, Roode, and Killings in 8 minutes 47 seconds by this point. And then those two fought in the last match where Abyss defeated Lance Hoyt in 6 minutes and 34 seconds. And Abyss now gets a bye to the finals of the tournament, and all other 6 competitors will be facing off against each other in the tournament, which I believe is what we're going to be seeing mostly today.
That's what I would assume, yeah.
The other couple things that happened, we saw a very emotional Jeff Jarrett speaking after his Bound for Glory match with Sting, and he is going home. And he basically said, "Good luck, Sting. I don't think you know what you're in for holding the title.
Be careful what you wish for."
Right. And then finally, to close out the show, we had Kurt Angle speaking for the first time to the live audience. And you bet it. You bet. You guessed it. Kurt Angle came out. They brawled. They had a pull apart, and it lasted for about 4 minutes, and it was awesome. So, and we can't forget that match has already been announced for Genesis, as well as a barbed wire steel cage match between Rhino and Christian Cage coming up on our 2-hour primetime special on November 16th, I believe, right?
Yeah, it's the primetime. Yeah, the primetime special.
Yeah, so a lot is going on, Bob. It's very exciting.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a sucker for cage matches. All right, and then if you incorporate barbed wire, great, sign me up. 2 of my favorite things: cages and barbed wire.
Right. I do think this is the 3rd non-lockdown steel cage match we've had this year, if I'm remembering correctly. Because we had, I'm pretty sure, didn't they do one right before lockdown with like Team 3D in it?
Oh shit, yeah.
So we did that. We just had the lockdown, or the 6 Sides of Steel Bound for Glory, and now we're doing another one just a couple weeks later.
Yeah. Kind of defeats the purpose of lockdown.
It does. Especially that you're adding the barbed wire stipulation to this one. I mean, that's something you could easily do at lockdown and like make that specific match at lockdown feel special.
Yeah, you probably should do it at lockdown.
Well, we're not, so too bad.
This company is all about ratings. So
ratings.
A cage up, put it up.
I mean, I don't really blame them for this 2-hour special. I would probably, if it was me, if they're going to do like a stipulation like that, I feel like I would do an Ultimate X, to be honest with you. I know that's been...
Oh, don't. Stop. No.
Okay, fine. I would do it, though.
We don't need more Ultimate X's in our lives.
I would do it.
We just don't.
Yes, we do.
We need a breath. We need a breath.
Oh, yeah, but
we just
saw Cage Match 3 weeks before. Yeah, it's happened longer than a cage match.
That's fine.
Whatever. Well, speaking of...
I would rather a cage match every show than have an Ultimate X match every show.
I don't know about that, but okay.
How many times can I see a guy struggle climbing on a rope?
Okay, but here's my reason why, okay? Hear me out. We got this primetime special. It's our first time on primetime, I think, right? Or whatever.
No. They did...
Did we do a primetime thing before?
Didn't they? They definitely have. They did it on Fox Sports Net.
Well, it's our first 2-hour show, isn't it?
That I think is true. Yes.
Okay. And you just said Fox Sports Net, so you've already been disqualified. We're on Spike now. It's a larger
I know, but
audience.
on Fox Sports Net they did fucking primetime specials.
I changed my mind about that now because I don't care about Fox Sports Net. On Spike, we have a large audience. We're prime time. It's our first 2-hour show. You're going to have new people watching. You put the Ultimate X on because people are going to watch it and be like, what is that? You know what?
Yeah,
Here, let's...
You know what they'd be like? People watching, like, whoa, these guys are idiots for doing a
No.
fucking gym. Who cares?
No, we're due for a good one. You put Sabin in it. He's a champion. You got Senshi, who's the former champion. And then might as well throw, like, Danielson Styles or something in it. You know, get some... Or Stauncha Dutt. You know, get some cool jumpy guys. And then it's going to be freaking great. That's fine. But you know what? Let's come to a consensus. Let's have an Ultimate X and a steel cage match. Let's just do both. And while we're at it, why don't we do a baseball bat on a pole match and put Sting on the show?
Well, Sting could be on there.
Right. Speaking of all of these ridiculous stipulation stuff, I actually want to start off today with an interview with Vince Russo that is on the TNAWrestling.com. With Ross Foreman. So it's pretty exciting, as you would imagine. I cut some of it out because it's just not really relevant, but it's stated here that he said when TNA called him this fall, he was caught completely off guard.
Bro, dude, I had no idea, bro. You guys would have called me, bro. No,
it's actually funny because when they write these, they don't write bro, and you know he's adding those in.
Oh, you know that he's saying.
Yeah. So he says, quote, TNA management called me on a Friday about coming back, and I really didn't know if it was I didn't really know if it was what I was supposed to do. I needed a couple of days to think about it, to pray about it, to figure out if it was what I was supposed to do. He also says, quote, that Sunday at church in Atlanta, I got a sign. And that's when I realized I was supposed to go back.
Oh, my God.
And now we just mentioned last week that sometimes Alvarez has a funny one-liner. Well, here's one for you. Because he says, well, that proves there is no God. And then he also says he's also lying as he'd been trying to get into TNA through Terry Taylor since at least mid-2006. Ross asked about how he was different today. And Russo says, quote, I'm so much different. When I started with WWE and WCW, I was a man on a mission. It was all about the ratings, all about the writing the best show I possibly could. It was tunnel vision because it really was a personal challenge to me. Today, at 45, it's not about that. My goals today are much, much different than they were 10 years ago. My goals today are to make the wrestling industry a better place and to really give the boys in the business a better working environment, to give them an opportunity, to give them a chance. He says, I care a lot about people today, much more than I did 10 years ago. You certainly could say that 10 years ago, it was me first and everyone else second. It's not that way today because it's not about personal goals and personal challenges. It really isn't. Instead, it's about trying to make a difference in the industry that I've been a fan of since I was a little kid. I really want to make a positive difference in the wrestling industry. And that's what drives me today. I think that's what drives TNA as well. He also says for his goals for next year, he says, first and foremost, I want to give as many people as I can the opportunity, create opportunities for them on the show. I really wanted to help make dreams come true for the talent. I want to do the same for TNA as well. They have worked so hard and come so far. I want to give them the best product possible within my talents. And Bob, unfortunately for you, he did say no brown panty matches in TNA unless someone else came up with the idea. And he says, quote, you have to realize when I became a Christian 3 years ago, it changed everything in my life. Absolutely everything. That includes how I am around my family, around my boys, my goals in life, my values, my beliefs, my reasonings. If people don't believe it or believe me, they just have to speak with anyone who has crossed my path over the last 3 years because those people will tell you that I'm not the same guy that I once was. Becoming a Christian was a life change. I know I've changed. I no longer am the same Vince Russo who I was in the mid to late 1990s, and I wouldn't want to be that guy again. Vince Russo then said in these words, quote, I take responsibility for everything for everything I've done in the past. This is coming from the guy who never once admitted that he had a dumb idea. That part was up for us. And then there's actually a part 2 of the interview, which he doesn't really talk a lot about TNA, but one thing he mentions that he doesn't want to be on TV again. However, and this is always a however, he says, quote, "If I ever get into this situation where I absolutely, positively, 100% needed to help get a younger guy over, then yeah, there's a possibility, like I did for AJ a couple of years ago." So,
how did that help AJ?
Never say never.
How did it help AJ? I'm curious.
How
did it help AJ in 2003?
I don't know. Alvarez says he doesn't even know what angle he's talking about. Now, I do remember the angle, but
how does he not remember?
Because
it was the whole thing where he was like, he was like basically his dad.
Yeah, it helped him out a lot.
That's such bullshit.
So it's pretty good stuff, honestly.
It's so yum.
Oh man, it's pretty awesome stuff. Okay, next up. Oh, there's so much good notes, Bob. Oh my God, so much good stuff on this one. Let's talk about ratings first. The October 28th replays of Ultimate Fighter and TNA Impact did a 0.4 and a 0.6 respectively. So interestingly there. The TNA Impact, the last one, I believe is what we're talking about here, did a 0.77 rating. Even though the rating was slightly down, it was still the same 1.0 million viewers they've been doing every week, which was a 1.17 in males 18 to 34 and a 0.79 in 35 to 49. Basically, they had their usual 18 to 34 audience, but were down past 35, which probably relates to baseball. The show opened up with a 0.82 first quarter before losing UFC viewers for the Sting Christian Cage promo segment. The LAX Naturals tag team match, the Nash Paparazzi promo, and the Reverse Battle Royal did a 0.74. Then it stayed at a 0.74 for the Battle Royal and Abyss Hoyt match, and picked up to a 0.77 for the Jarrett promo and the Angle promo with Joe confrontation.
You know what's interesting is that nowadays they don't even really talk about when they talk about viewership, they just do like totals. They don't do like 4.5. It's like it's 700,000 people or whatever.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, you know why? Because nowadays they probably don't want to say that number because the ratings aren't even accounting for people who are streaming or that. So that number is probably embarrassing, which is once again why ratings, especially nowadays in wrestling, don't fucking matter.
They really fucking don't.
You wait to see how worse it's going to get when, for example, Raw is on Netflix and like AEW is simulcasting on Max, and then there's gonna be less ratings because more people are gonna watch on Max. I'm gonna watch on Max. So it's gonna
that's just them wanting. That's just more people will get rid of cable or YouTube TV or whatever and just keep the streaming service.
That's what I'm gonna do.
That's what's gonna end up happening.
At least I'm pretty sure that's what I'm gonna do. To be determined.
I bet you that's what I'm gonna end up doing. And one of these days, I don't even really watch YouTube TV.
Don't you watch it for sports?
Yeah, but even then, it's really not even. I don't know. I think it's not really. I don't know how much it's really worth it. Well, maybe not keep it year round.
No, that's fair. That's a fair point. Next up, so from November 30th to December 21st, Impact at 9 p.m. will be going head-to-head with NFL games, which means if the first 2 weeks do well, and then there's a drop, it's probably not product-related as much as outside forces related. So just so you know, when we have sad ratings news in a few weeks, that's why. Assuming the viewers drop. This one's a little bit longer, but it's a goodie, as most of these are. As things stand now, Angle's first match, unless they book him to wrestle on the TV special, which is not going to be taped until November 6th, so 4 days after the show we're watching today. It's going to be in Philadelphia on November 10th when he faces Abyss. After doing the next 2 weekends for Ring of Honor, Jim Cornette will only be doing pay-per-views and TV after the pay-per-views as far as stuff for the rest of the year. he gotten sick the first week of September, but was working through it. And at the TNA pay-per-view, his voice was gone. And doctors told him to not talk for an extended period of time. So that's why which is funny for a couple of reasons, but that's why he sounded like that.
Okay.
Yeah. Now at the September pay-per-view, which was No Surrender. Mm-hmm. Cornette told Dutch Mantel and Jeff Jarrett that he didn't want to get in the way of their business or cause problems due to Vince Russo being booker. So he actually gave his notice. He suggested coming to Bound for Glory, having a heel give him a beating that would be the way that it would be that he'd end up being written off. He said in January they could reevaluate the situation, basically based on if Russo had been fired by that point. Jarrett told Cornette that they needed him and that Russo was a changed man and asked him to give him a chance. Cornette cut his Russo promo about how he buried Cornette, Jim Ross, and anyone with an accent at the studio, and that he hated Russo for ruining careers, booking WCW into oblivion, exposing the business to an undreamed of level, and ending, noting he'd booked for 3 companies. The first he walked out on with no notice, the second one he destroyed, and the third one he got removed from power. Jarrett told Cornette that he wouldn't accept his resignation and that they would continue to book him. He did tell Cornette that he could no-show his book dates, but noted that he'd be the one who'd come off looking bad in that situation. I kind of like that. Jarrett's like, go ahead, no-show. Like, see what happens.
That's amazing.
Russo would never... sorry, I just skipped the line. Jarrett asked Cornette to give the company a chance, and the agreement was made that the two could avoid each other at all costs. Russo would never interact with or give orders to Cornette, and Cornette would never try to physically attack Russo. The night before Bound for Glory, Cornette caused a scene when he got riled up by fans talking about Russo and started verbally abusing Russo. Now, Russo was not there, but he was loud, and the people said that he made such a scene that they thought he was cussing out Russo that they'd have to break up a fight. After Bound for Glory, his doctor was mad at him for continuing to work and talk while sick. Cornette was mad at his performance at the show because his voice wouldn't allow him to cut the promo he wanted. So, pretty fun.
That's amazing. Hey, Russo can't give me any orders, and then I promise I won't assault him.
I promise I won't.
A fair trade-off.
I promise I won't beat him up.
I won't attack.
It's so silly. Let me skip down here for a second. Just a few quick things that are kind of related to Bound for Glory. The company is very happy with the debut of Austin Starr, so that's good. Regarding pay-per-view buy expectations, with them going against the World Series, they will be thrilled if Bound for Glory hits 40,000 buys. And Dave says, I'm guessing they are about to be thrilled. And as Bob noted on last week, you just said it was, 55 to
60, I think, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. More than just AMW, a lot of people were upset about time being cut in their matches. At the end of the pay-per-view, Christian and Rhino had to rush to the finish, where they couldn't even sell the pile driver through the table spot. We did discuss that last week.
So then just cut the spot then.
No, that spot was good. You don't cut that spot.
No, I know, but I'm saying if you're going to complain about it, then don't do the spot.
Right. The LAX and Styles Daniels cage match had to cut 5 minutes after they had gotten to the ring. The Jarrett Sting title change was supposed to end with Jarrett doing a promo talking about how the better man won, putting Sting over and starting his face turn. That didn't happen either. So, pretty crazy.
I wonder if it was the segment with like Cornette and Angle and stuff earlier in the show that caused that.
Could have. That did go kind of long. Also, there's a random spot where Sorelda got low blowed in the paper in the X Division thing, and she got low blowed and was originally designed for her to just not sell it. But someone backstage said, "No, you should sell it." So then she did.
Well, I mean, I feel like anytime I've mentioned that to a woman, they say that it does hurt.
Correct. So it makes sense that they sold it. Jarrett convinced TNA promoters in Monterey to do a AAA trio-style match as one of the main events for their November 25th show. So this is actually kind of interesting. I never thought about this before. So it looks to be that it's going to be Jeff Jarrett and Conan and a third guy from TNA against Cybernetico, who's being groomed to be AAA's top babyface once he comes back, Abismo Negro, and La Parca. Now, the reaction will be interesting because, at least when it comes to WWE, the fans that go to the U.S. shows want to see U.S. wrestling, just as in the U.S., fans want to go to lucha shows, don't want to see U.S. wrestling. So when WWE did shows in the past and put on a lucha match, largely to look at guys recommended by Mysterio or others, the crowds rejected them. However, when they were mid-level lucha guys, as opposed to Cybernetico and Parca, who is super popular right now. So it's kind of interesting. It's just a style of a match that Jarrett convinced them to do versus what they normally would do. I thought it was kind of fun. It's noted, I'm assuming this is at Bound for Glory. I don't know for sure, though, Bob. It could have been on the last taping, but Daphne from WCW was backstage looking for work. So that's a different name. Apparently, though, there's a joke whenever a new woman shows up looking for work in TNA, and all the guys hit on her, and then all the women hate her. So apparently, every time a new girl comes, that's what happens.
Well, I mean, it's was Soralda?
I guess that was the last one.
So Soralda was getting hit on by all the boys?
And hated by all the girls.
Yeah, but when they say all the girls are like Gail Kim, Christy Hemme, and Tracy Brooks?
SoCal Val.
SoCal Val.
Yeah, I guess that's it, though, yeah.
That's about it.
That's about it.
If, Daphne was a good worker. I just hope that if she does come in, she doesn't do the screaming gimmick, because that shit was annoying.
The screaming is a lot. I do like Daphne, though, so I'm definitely interested to see if they end up bringing her in a reasonable amount of time.
Yeah, don't scream.
Just don't scream. My last part here is it's a kind of a two-parter. It's about Konnan. I kind of teased this last week, so we'll get to that part. So Konnan's hip is really thrashed. He's really messed up. He's tried several different remedies to avoid hip replacement surgery, but they haven't really panned out. It's inevitable that he's going to need to get his hip done, with a tentative plan of it being done early next year, if he can even hold out that long. And the feeling is that if he doesn't get it taken care of soon, he's going to end up needing a wheelchair. And actually, one description we got is that he was almost in need of one. I believe it on for Glory is probably what they're referencing. Yeah, he did just say at the show. So Konnan is messed up. Now, that all being said, if you noticed, and actually I forgot to notice, and I read these notes first, they actually cut out the Spanish language introduction for LAX at this taping. So they didn't have, it used to be Moody Jack, who started doing the introduction for LAX. Yeah. Which did not get over well with them. Dutch Mantel made the call, or at least that he was the one who told Konnan at the production meeting, and it led to one of many problems between Konnan and the company, which were rectified by the time everyone left Orlando. So everything's fine, but this all happened. So the office had been talking about dropping it, feeling that most of the audience doesn't know Spanish, but they used the excuse that Willie Urbanina, I think that's how you say it, the new Spanish announcer, didn't do it as well as Moody Jack, Hector Melendez. Now, Konnan's argument was that it was a key part of the presentation in making them stand out, and saw it as the idea that they were trying to cool them down when they needed a hot act. And actually, I'll pause here. And the fact that they didn't think that a lot of people knew Spanish, I think was kind of the point of it. Because, I don't know Spanish, but the fact that they were introduced in Spanish, I think is cool. I do like it.
Well, you don't need to know Spanish to know that they're introducing them in Spanish.
Right. I don't know. I think if that is true, that's a very silly reason to cut it.
Yeah, I think that's dumb.
Now, there was also legit heat over the TV angle when Chris Harris and James Storm beat them up. This is what I was alluding to. It was supposed to be Harris and Storm beating on Homicide and Hernandez for 15 seconds, but it went 2 minutes plus. So it went longer than it was supposed to. But also, it included Storm attacking Konnan, who couldn't move and was hurting and was not supposed to be hit. Although, as we saw, Konnan did hit first. He did come in with a slapjack before Storm hit him.
That's true.
So Conan was mad. He was so mad that he walked out, and he didn't do Spanish announcing for the rest of the taping as scheduled, because he normally goes and joins the booth. Jarrett was furious at him for walking out during a broadcast. He was also confronted him where his priorities were, if it's AAA or TNA, and Conan said AAA, but then he wanted to stay with TNA and would never miss a TV or a major event. So that's where that stands. Lots of drama there.
Yeah, so like if he hits Storm with a slapjack, he's just expected to not
Yeah,
get attacked back.
it's kind of a weird thing to say, I feel like.
Yeah, I don't understand the logic or his reasoning. I don't know, man. It just seems like, I wonder if Conan acts this way because like deep down inside it bothers him that he can't actively compete at a level that he wants to.
Could be.
And especially when LAX is like a hot act, like he's just the manager, and he wishes that he could do more than that.
Yeah, I think that's a fair point. Very interesting, nonetheless. But Bob, that is going to be our pre-show notes. So we are ready to get into the November 2nd, 2006 episode of Impact.
Yeah, but before we do that, how about you plug the thing?
Oh my God, thank you. See, I keep forgetting. Guys, I meant to say this on our last episode. Normally we plug all these socials, which I'm probably not going to stop doing necessarily. But now, if you just type in TNA crosstheline.com, it's going to direct you to a page. You can find all of our social media pages, our YouTube channel, our Pro Wrestling Tee store, everything, all in one place. Super easy, convenient, and a great way to support us by following that link and following us on all those social media pages and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, it's all located in one-stop shop, as the kids say, right?
That's right.
Yeah. All right, let's get into the November 2nd, 2006 edition of TNA Impact. If you want to watch along with us, head over to TNA Plus, where you can find it in your own personal collection. I'm going to count down from 3. When I say play, that's when the show will start. The approximate runtime for this is 40 minutes and 55 seconds. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, play.
This is TNA, and it's very loud in my ear this week for some reason.
Yeah, I don't even have the volume all the way up, and it feels like I do have the volume all the way up.
It's the fight for the right tournament.
This music feels like I'm listening to like the Rock and Roll Express coming out. Like,
oh yeah, it does.
Or like the Freebirds.
It's that vibe for sure.
Air guitar in and out. It's pretty bad.
It's the winner of this gets a bye to the final. It was Abyss. And look, now we're going to the Kurt Angle Samoa Joe confrontation. TNA goes, we've never had a situation like this in TNA. Okay.
I don't think that's accurate. I can't think of one off the top of my head, but I'm sure that there's been a pull apart.
Right. Tonight's a tournament phase of the fight for the right tournament. Abyss is already in the finals. Here we go. Lance Hoyt versus Ryan Collins.
Partners.
Daniels versus Robert Roode. Styles versus Chris Sabin. Wait. Uh-oh. Speaking of Styles and Sabin, there's an altercation that happened earlier. This was on TNAWrestling.com. Sabin is looking weird right now. Christy Hemmy's doing interview duties. That's new. He's talking trash about Jerry Lynn.
Sabin is a heel.
Yeah, he's a heel. This right here, Jerry Lynn, this proves you wrong. Oh, shit. Styles just walked in. You think I'm going to listen to this crap?
Okay. This shit's funny. Whoa.
We call him a little punk.
He said,
Oh.
"Eat me, punk."
Oh, he did. 1 hour later, Styles was getting interviewed, and now Sabin walked in. I want to point out Styles is wearing a Midway shirt, which is the company that made the TNA video game.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, shit. Sabin's putting the title on the line tonight? So it's a tournament match and an X Division title match? Damn.
Okay. So isn't that okay? This just shows you the evolution of time, because in 2002, AJ Styles was a little fucking prick, and he was a jerk to Jerry Lynn. And now 4 years later, he's like, "You got to respect your elders."
Yeah, that's awesome.
So
Long-term
do you like the
storytelling.
Jerry Lynn and then Sabin is the AJ in this like confrontation? That's funny.
I don't hate it. That reminds me of, like, I don't know if you've ever seen it, because you're not necessarily a Star Wars fan, but there's like a
I mean,
joke.
I watched the Star.
There's a George Lucas like meme that goes around, because at one point he's like, it's like poetry, it rhymes, because they like will mirror things in different movies. It's the same thing. It's like poetry, it rhymes. It's the same thing. Look at this Pyro blowing our budget for hour 2. This crowd's excited. They don't even know what they're watching yet. But we are starting off the X Division Championship match.
Whoa.
I kind of am sick of this gear that Styles is wearing. He needs to freshen this up.
Well, how would he freshen it up?
I don't know, because he's only been wearing this since he's been tagging with Daniels. He used to have cooler gear, I thought. Different color.
I feel like you and Austin are both like gearheads.
Yeah, I'm a gear guy.
I don't really care. I'm more like storytelling and like just have a good match. I don't care what you're wearing.
Well, do you like that Chris Sabin has an alien on his balls?
I don't like the green.
See, even for Sabin, like, that's weird. Like, that's like a really weird gear. And he's just got an alien head on his groin. Like, what is happening?
I don't know how I feel about Sabin immediately turning heel.
I don't know if he's really been a face for a while, though.
Yeah, but he, like, 3 or 4 weeks ago, he was doing stupid jackass stuff.
And I feel like that wasn't like a heel, but he was like defying Jerry Lynn a little bit and that kind of stuff. So
yeah.
Although it's interesting because he was doing it, but I wouldn't consider Dutt like a heel. I feel like Sabin was being a little cockier about things.
Yeah.
Trying to cheat in the matches, like bringing
I think my issue is you go from Senshi, who's a heel, to Sabin, and then you pivot Sabin to a heel. I don't know.
By the way, we are starting this match off hot. I mean, these guys immediately start brawling, and now Styles has got him locked in like a arm stretch, but he's countering that.
I do have indie notes for Christopher Sabin. He had a busy weekend last weekend, and I want to make sure I'm able to watch the action here. So let me just move that around. Back on October 27th, Sabin lost to Ultimo Dragon for UWA Hardcore Grand Prix tournament. That was night 1. On night 2, Sabin teamed up with Alex Shelley to retain the 0-1 Max Lightweight Tag Team Championships when they defeated Okada and Ultimo Dragon for UWA Hardcore. And then on October 29th, Chris Sabin defeated Ruckus to win the MCW Cruiserweight title at MCW's Monster Mash.
Ooh.
So quite the weekend there for Sabin. An Okada appearance in 2006.
That's Young Boy.
Young Boy is even like 2010 TNA.
I know. Yeah.
So just imagine 06. Like, what the hell?
But guys, TNA dropped the ball on Okada, even though he was green as fuck.
Well, yeah. It's all about potential. I mean, you have Okada and you have Orlando Jordan, and then you're like,
well, okay. In hindsight, yeah, that not
Yeah,
gonna move.
like, okay. And nothing against Orlando Jordan. He's an entertaining character, but like in terms of in ring, I mean, it's not comparable.
Oh, huge springboard flying forearm by Styles, taking out Sabin. But we have not recorded also since it officially happened. But the Motor City Machine Guns are SmackDown superstars.
Yeah. And for the longest time, I thought Sabin had at least appeared in NXT, but that was Shelley did, didn't he?
Oh, Shelley, yeah, Shelley did.
That's Kushida.
Beautiful tornado DDT with Sabin, or by Sabin. And for the cover, kick out it too. Yeah, they have really weird entrance music and a really weird T-shirt, but it's still the Machine Guns, so I love them.
WWE doesn't even have like a cruiserweight title out, do they?
No.
Anymore?
No.
That's weird. I feel like they should.
I mean, they got the Speed title. You have to have wrestle under 3 minutes on Twitter.
That's just stupid. And then I remember Triple H was like bragging, like, "Oh, it had so many impressions." That doesn't mean people have watched it. That means that it was in their feed.
I know. Beautiful Pele kick by Styles. Oh, Bob, you'll get a kick out of this. The way I just thought about this is really random, but oh, look at this moonsault reverse DDT combo. Oh my God, Sabin countered it. He flipped him out and ran with that big boot in the corner. We were talking about the toy show off air that happened recently. As Sabin's gonna hit the cradle shock, countered by Styles with a cradle. That was beautiful. Wow.
Oh my God.
We have a new title. Yeah. Styles wins the X Division champion and moves on. Sabin just held the title for 2 days. He did the Rhino.
Oh my God. Dallas.
Wow. We're hot shotting the title off of Chris Sabin.
Wait a minute. So there's a 3-way collision and then there's the finals.
That's what we talked about last week. Yeah, we figured that out. We were right.
Right. Okay.
It's official now, but yeah.
Here's the thing, though. I think there's going to be an Ultimate X on that live special with AJ's champion. I mean, that's probably what's going to happen now.
Oh, up next is Sting, but coming up later, we get to see Kurt Angle and Samoa Joe's training sessions.
Oh, great. It's just what I want.
Well, we're at the table now. Oh, we're going to see an interview with Sting. I'll finish my story at some point here. It's not really that exciting, but Sting's about to do an interview, so. You got to check this out. Ooh, we never expected to see this side of Sting. Jeff Jarrett said that when he met me at Bound for Glory, that he looked into my eyes and he knew something was different. Yeah, I lost 20 pounds.
Yeah, I used that guy's face paint in the crowd.
He thought the same thing about Jeff Jarrett. Oh, he found out recently that he's got pretty severe personal problems he's dealing with. He's walking in deep, dark despair. I referred to him as the cancer that needed to be removed. Well, the cancer is this. Cancer is the world title.
He's going to vacate the title.
Dude.
Retire it.
This title represents lust, greed, desire. But now it's going to represent honor, respect, dignity, and truth. I'll be honest with you, Bob. I thought we were about to see a double turn with Jarrett and Sting. Sting turns heel in this promo. And then
No way.
He's going to give credit where credit is due.
For some reason, Sting is a guy that if you try to turn him heel, it just doesn't work.
He's giving credit to God Almighty. Because without him, I'm nothing. Russo's
Okay, I don't know how that's any different than any other Sting promo I've ever heard in my life.
because he said God.
Oh.
He said God Almighty. Anyway. Oh, wait, we're going backstage with the Truth and Lance Hoyt.
Music still playing.
Now must be opponents. What did Lance? Lance Hoyt retweeted us, and I forgot what he said exactly.
Hoyt is a friend of the show.
I mean, pretty much, dude.
Chris Harris, Lance Hoyt. I think Truth has retweeted this once. So he's a friend of the show.
Friend of the show. This is my chance, Truth, to be a champion for the first time. Oh, the Truth Hoyts. That's what he called his team. The Truth Hoyts.
So after the match, after he knocks Ron's head off, they can be cool after that.
Oh, shit. Hey, you got your job back for now. Oh, okay. Eric Young is being very scared. We're going to see the training soon. 4 corners, weapon, or escape pole match. Wait, is that?
No,
did I spoil that one last week?
No, she just said it's a weapons or escaped cage match.
Oh, is that leading toward the? Whoa, what was that move by Lance Hoyt?
The barbed wire cage match is weapon. I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Okay, we'll have to find out what that is.
I don't know what she said.
Hey, Lance Hoyt is friends with this guy. Monty Brown is, believe it or not, Bob, he's still negotiating here, even though he was at Raw last week.
Negotiating with who?
TNA.
Really?
Yeah. But at the last TV, which is here, nobody even brought his name up, so I don't think there's really much interest if he's double dipping.
I think he's trying to get leverage.
I'm sure.
Because if he goes to WWE and they're just and they know it's just WWE, they can offer him the bare minimum. What's up? What's up? What's up?
What else do I got for you? A1, Johnny Devine, Shark Boy, David Young, Elig Skipper weren't brought in for television at all. Jake Roberts also wasn't used. At this point, it appears that his first appearance may have cooked his goose. This is for about Roberts. But they brought him back for the pay-per-view since he was advertised. Here we go. On an October 29th show in Toronto for Stranglehold Wrestling, Roberts pulled out his false teeth in the middle of the match and gave them to the referee. I mentioned that last week.
That's silly. I don't know why I find that so funny. That he was even doing that in 2006.
Yeah. And even speaking of Jake Roberts, Sin was at the show in Detroit once again trying to get a job. Jake Roberts tried to get him in, but at that point, they only took Roberts.
So Sin, the guy that drove Roberts to Orlando, got Roberts a job, but didn't get himself a job.
Correct.
That's gotta suck.
Yeah.
That's gotta suck bad. Oh. Wait, with a big boot. 1, 2, kick out 2.
Bob's John.
I feel like Ron's gonna win this. But then I don't know who. I feel like Robert
Roode. I think Roode's got to. Yeah. Well, they just made an interesting point in commentary. Styles is a former champion and was able to make it. Killings is a former champion.
Right.
The last match, we have someone who wants to be a future champion who's been very verbal about it. It makes sense.
Right. And if there was a former champion in the last match, I would have picked them too. But there's not.
Look in the clothesline. Kong's kicking that, going for the axe kick. Counters. White with the big boot, ducks that. Killing's off the rope with that corkscrew spinny forearm.
Scissor kick.
It's an axe kick. See?
Can he get him? 1, 2. Oh my God, he beat him clean. Wow.
Okay.
Wow. Okay. Well, there's that.
There you go.
AJ and Ron. There's one more. Uh-oh. James Gang.
Okay, what's happening?
Ron is telling him no.
He's going to make this history lesson brief.
Oh, my fucking...
Poor Lance Hoyt has to sit
I'm going to keep
this
this brief. 10 years ago.
The world saw right through those two. They saw the real champions. You couldn't fool them anymore. They're the stars of DX, Bob.
Well, obviously.
Oh, pre-James Gang, the 3 Live Crew we're talking.
Oh.
Jesus Christ. He says, a black guy, a Latino, and a straight-up crackerjack. Tell me that wasn't marketable. Jesus. Oh, he's fed up with them dropping the ball. If you can't find me work, I know where to find it. Bob, I just would like to remind you that less than 2 weeks ago, or just over, they were on Bound for Glory. Just for the record.
Right.
They were on the biggest show in company history. But okay. They're sitting back there with their thumbs up their asses. Here's what we're going to do. You take your little TNA hat. He throws it in the crowd. You've seen the last of the James Gang. We're done.
Yep, I believe that.
They're quitting? When did you become so politically correct? When are you so soft? Let me put it to you this way. He's not going to candy coat it one little bit. TNA? Spike TV? Oh, they cut his mic. Bob, is this a shoe?
I'm going to go no.
Bob, they cut his mic. He threw it. They cut his mic. Uh-oh, he's going over to Mike Tenay. He's got a headset. Here, I got something to say, and you're going to damn sure going to listen. TNA, Spike TV. Oh, they cut it again. What is he going to say? Oh, they cut it. They went to commercial.
You can suck it. That's what he's going for. Right?
Yeah, probably. Final fight for the right quarterfinal. Robert Roode's got his new music. He's got his Terry Taylor rub on. And there is his CEO, Miss Brooks. That is a different jacket than the one he normally is wearing, for the record. I do like the idea that Terry Taylor's like, here, do you want to wear my jackets?
Well, you know, it didn't work for Terry to get over, so hopefully it works for Robert.
He does look pretty good in them.
I think that Robert Roode probably needs to beat Daniel. If we're pushing him, he's got to win.
Dude, he's got to. He has to win.
Oh,
And speaking of, here he comes. There you go. Classic. See, he's wearing different gear.
Yeah, I wonder if AJ and Daniels are no longer teaming.
I'm kind of wondering too.
Because I mean, if AMW are going after LAX, who would they go after? Probably nobody. Tag team wise.
Right. Miss Brooks already standing up on the apron. She's got a pencil. Oh, Daniels got distracted, as every male wrestler does when a female stands up on the apron. Roode stomping Daniels in the corner.
I do have any notes for Daniels. October 27th, Ring of Honor Suffocation. Christopher Daniels defeated Brent Albright. October 28th, Ring of Honor's Irresistible Forces. Christopher Daniels defeated Austin Aries. And then on October 29th, Christopher Daniels lost to Samoa Joe at MCW's Monster Mash. And that is all your indie notes for this week.
This week?
Yeah.
It's the last match.
That's right.
That's funny. Bob, we were just in Detroit for the first time. If you were going to take a guess, where do you think the next target market that they are going to look at could be?
Chicago.
Ding, ding, ding. You got it.
Boom.
Yeah. They don't have a date or which show it would be, but that is going to be their next target market to try to bring a show to.
I wonder, when... I would imagine Lockdown, right?
Ooh, Lockdown would be good.
Pay-per-view.
Smash is a little slower than the other ones, but that's okay.
That should be expected.
Yeah. Here's another note for you, though, during that. Jim Ross's contract expires on Sunday, and there is interest from TNA, and most likely the plan would be to put him with Mike Tenay, with Tenay on color, and move down west of backstage to do interviews and hype up pay-per-views.
I hate it. I hate it because I don't think Tenay's done color, obviously, but he's the play-by-play guy for TNA.
Yeah. Nice split like moonsault from Daniels to the outside, taking out Roode. Look at this. This is the first time ever, Bob, that you're seeing at the bottom of the screen. We are talking about the house shows. It's November 11th, November 10th.
Well, maybe not scrolled it. Haven't they? Oh, no, I guess they haven't.
Nope, and it's even in my notes. I was waiting for it to happen. The first time this past week, they plugged dates and cities of the house shows on television.
That makes sense.
That's a pretty big one. Irish up into the corner. Roode moves, so Daniels hit the top high knee into the corner.
Old Nelson slam. Boom. That could be it. 1, 2. No.
Oh. What's this? Wait, I gotta say, if Roode wins this and he hits his new finisher, the payoff, which is the last rites on Daniels, that's kind of funny.
I'm still trying to visualize what the last rites looks like.
I'm pretty positive it's like a crossroads. The BME?
He
hits it.
Boom. Hits.
Tracy's
showing her boobs.
No, she's not. She's taking off her straps.
Yeah, to show her boobs.
She's trying. I'm actually surprised
Earl's
she's not
telling
wearing...
Daniels, wouldn't you look at this too? Do it. Come on.
Oh, Angel's Wings?
Angel's Wings.
Nope. Tracy grabbed the leg of Daniels. Here it is. The payoff.
That's okay.
I was right. I was doubting myself last week, but I knew it.
Okay, so that was not good.
I didn't mind the finish, but...
It was kind of boring.
Here we go. The 3-way collision next week. Fight for the right. Styles, Killings, and Robert Roode.
We know that.
What is Tracy doing? She took her hair down, and I don't know what she's doing. Oh,
I don't know what's...
There you go. Styles just chased him off.
She licked her hand?
Was she going to slap him maybe or something?
The fine assets of Miss Brooks. Don, just say it. Her boobs. Boobs.
Uh-oh. Daniels kind of is eyeing that X Division title. I know what we're going to see now at the Primetime Special. Daniels Styles.
He's upset that AJ is champion and he's not, so he's gonna be a little pissed.
Yeah.
What was my...
Daniels is frustrated that Styles didn't focus on this match because he's focused on his own title. I don't think that match had anything to do with Styles, so.
No. Throughout their journey. Some stuff.
I'm pretty sure something's going on with this Christian Rhino thing happening here. Barbed wire, 6 sides of steel. On prime time. I loved you like a brother, now I hate you.
Like a brother.
That's funny. Blood is truly thicker than water. I'm gonna teach you a lesson, Christian.
Okay, so it's a no escape. So I think when we heard so there's going to be weapons in there.
No, we're watching a match right now. When all 4 items are removed from the corners, the match is over.
Wait a minute. This match is happening right now?
Yeah. Okay, so...
It's not on the thing.
Okay, so if you listen to our last week's episode... Oh my god, Christian just got hit and is sliding down the ramp.
The way... I didn't think that was... I thought it was not even him. The way that he just like...
Neither did I. Rhino's attacking him. So... If you listen to our last week's episode, I'm pretty positive I spoiled this match. I'm sorry. I even searched online, like on the Wrestling Recaps thing, and I searched Christian to see if there was a match. I looked quickly. I didn't see it. So this must not be an actual match.
Is there stuff on poles?
Yes, they have to take it down.
Oh my god.
So it's not a real match, Bob. They take down these weapons or items and they get them in the cage match next week. I see a chair. I see a straight jacket.
No.
Okay. So it's not. So there's nothing to spoil because it's not a match. The referee's ringside, but there's no referee in the ring. There's no pin or anything.
So if Rhino grabs the chair, he has the chair for the match.
Correct. It shouldn't be this confusing.
No, but it's complicated.
It shouldn't be. Also, this doesn't need to be happening. Why are they fighting? I don't know. In other news, Shane Douglas has been working with the Naturals on emoting and facials, which are 2 of their weaknesses, as it's pointed out here. The Observer.
Well, you know what? We could add this to pole matches, even though it's not technically a match, but it's a pole gimmick for
It is
Rusev.
It is. I mean, it is. What else do I have for you?
In the cage, they're going to be put in a box with their name on it.
Bob.
Now we're making it sound dumb as shit. What are we doing? Oh my god.
He's wrenching at the neck of Christian now. What else do we got up on there? I see wire cutters, it looks like. Or like
That's
to
probably for the
cut
barbed wire. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
I'm thinking for the barbed wire.
Right. What is that thing on the front left?
That might be a key
Oh.
to like get out of the cage, but you can't win that way.
I don't know. Another news, Gail Kim, we talked last week how she's been off. She's going to be off of TV. Well, she was pretty unhappy that she didn't have an angle on TV after the taking the border toss, even though it was pointed out that it was better for all concerned if she's out for a few weeks to sell the move. So she wasn't thrilled, but what can you do? And Bob is right. They just said it's to save the cage. It's a key.
And of course, Rhino grabs the key. How is that gonna? Okay, in a weapons match, you're gonna have a key, and then Christian will have an actual weapon.
Yes. There's a table in the ring now. One went down during commercial here. Rhino tossed Christian to the floor, and he grabbed the straitjacket during the commercial. This is pre-picture and picture time, guys, so you would have just completely missed that.
So going into the cage, Rhino has the key and a straitjacket.
Yeah, and Christian just dropped Rhino as he was going for a gore through a table. I got another note for you because I was expecting we maybe see him on the show, but it doesn't look like we're going to at this point. So remember how we saw Bentley last week in the crowd in Raven's Perch? Well, there is an idea to essentially bring back Raven's Flock using Bentley and Kazarian as members. And apparently they didn't seem too happy when they were first told about this.
Yeah. I could see why. They don't fit into that.
No. But Christian just got the bolt cutters.
He's going to use them now.
Toss those bolt cutters out of there because he was about to use them, even though there's already a table in the ring, so does it really matter? I have one more note, but since we're going to see Kurt Angle for the fight... You son of a bitch! Here's Bentley. I just said I didn't think we were going to see him, and here they are.
Well, why is he attacking Rhino?
What is this new look? He kind of looks like sad Shannon Moore.
No kidding.
Well, this match
the
or
bell
whatever is
sounds,
done.
but it doesn't.
Well, because Christian got the chair.
It was never a match.
He swung it at Rhino, but he missed. Gore.
Is this like the visual pin type of thing where it's like, oh, he probably would have won?
I guess. Well, no. So it was more of a segment than a match.
No, yeah, this is definitely a segment.
Oh, look, they have a box that says Rhino on, and he's taking out the straitjacket.
What makes this even dumber is that if Christian uses the chair, Rhino's going to still use the chair.
Well, yeah.
So I don't understand any of this premise.
The Maverick mat is the reason that Christian got the chairs, dude. I can't believe I just said I don't think we're going to see him, and then he runs out.
Well, why would he come out here to attack Rhino? It doesn't make any sense.
Raven Rhino feud coming up.
Why? We've already done that. I don't need to see that again.
You want payback? Get it now, Rhino. Oh, shit. Kazarian's here, too. He grabbed the chair from Rhino. He looks pretty much identical.
Yeah, he hasn't really changed his look.
He has a skull shirt on.
Maverick Matt, though,
Maverick Matt looks way different.
Yeah.
I need to know more about this. Christian Cage is in a straitjacket on the ramp now. As these two are going after Rhino. Irish whip into the corner. Rhino put up an elbow. Matt gets hit with the gore. And he's picked up Kazarian, and here we go through the table. Not for nothing, but if you're trying to push these guys, I feel like they should have probably just beat down Rhino and put him through the table.
Yeah, but if they're just, flunkies for
That's true.
Raven,
That's true.
You don't really have to do that. And you're trying to build up a barbed wire steel cage match.
Well, that's the part that's a little weird. Maybe they should have saved this for that match. They got the bolt cutters. There's a way into the cage, technically.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're about to see the training video. So I'm going to tell you my last note during this because it's about Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle and Vince Russo have been talking a lot because Kurt Angle is giving a lot of power over his own programs. In many ways, it appears that Angle is going to be the new Jeff Jarrett as far as being the person that the shows are built around, which as long as he's healthy is for the better. Angle's situation is interesting because he's watching everything very closely and giving his opinions on everything. His mentality is that they need to be more serious edge promotion, unlike in ECW where the wrestlers weren't in awe of him because most had more experience than he did and didn't like his giving advice and suggestions. So most of the guys here see him as a legit superstar and have 180 degree different reaction when he takes time to give them suggestions. So he's going to be a locker room leader here in TNA, which makes a lot of sense, and he's going to, I think, benefit everyone. This is a very weird training montage that we're seeing.
Now, see, my only thing with this, too, is that this montage would make you think as if they've been building for this match for 9 months.
Well, also, not for anything. Some of the Samoa Joe footage of him in the ring, they've used that footage for probably 6 months. Like, it's not like that's it's him just standing there, like, looking cool, which is fine. That's it. Adrenaline rush time, baby. Bob, what'd you think of that episode of Impact?
I'm going to say thumbs down.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
I actually really liked it until that weird stuff at the end, to be honest.
So the thing that I don't understand the whole point of what we did with Christian Rhino here. Just incorporate the weapons as it is. There's no point.
I think that's my biggest gripe of this, and that Daniels Roode match was not very strong. But I think Killings and Hoyt was not bad, and I think that Styles and Sabin was good. I enjoyed that match a lot.
Yeah,
and the shock of winning the title was really well done, I think, too.
That's the thing, is I don't know why we're changing the title.
I mean, I agree, but I didn't expect it. Honestly, if it was me, I would have saved that for the primetime show.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why we're doing that. It doesn't make any sense to me. I feel there's no reason to put the title on Styles. But
I don't think there is either. But if you're going to do a shock, I feel like you should wait to do it.
Yeah, but like we've noted too, it's like, you got the primetime special. I feel like AJ's always like a champion whenever there's some kind of special.
Well, you're right, so, and that's something that they do almost too often. I think where they're like, we better strap up a bigger name. Like they do it to Jarrett like 3 times. They do it to Styles multiple times. Right. It happens too often, and it shouldn't, because that shouldn't be how you do it. If you put the title on Chris Sabin, he's your guy of that division. You should want to feature him.
Right.
I don't, yeah, and I guess for me too, it's like I say wait for the special if you're going to do it. I don't know. I guess if it's like a bigger show, like I'd be more inclined if they started doing title changes on these, where it's like, if they do a special, this is going to be a must watch. We have to see it, because last time there was a title change. It was like a big deal. Yeah. That's how I look at it. But I look at like that now with wrestling. It's like you can't just do random title matches on your TV shows and the title never change. Eventually, it has to change, or it's going to be like, oh, it's just a regular match again. It's like I'll use an example that literally aired last night as of this recording. They do that. AEW does these battle for the belt specials.
Right.
They are generally nothing. People have won titles on them before, very rarely, but it does happen. Well, last night they did an eliminator match, which in AEW, if you don't know what that is, the champion fights someone. So in this case, it was Mariah May, the women's champion, fought Anna Jay. If Anna Jay beat Mariah, she then earns a shot at the title. The champions always win these matches. They're so lame. Well, last night Anna Jay won.
Mm-hmm.
They finally, I'm sure they have in the past, but they finally, at least in recent memory, switched it up. Now I'm going to think twice about watching those eliminator matches because you don't know what's going to happen. I believe
all it takes is one.
It takes one. It's just like there was one time, I think we talked about this. This was years ago, of course. Picture in picture. Orange Cassidy won a match during the picture in picture. That makes you think twice and be like, should I be paying attention during those instead of just, okay, well, it's still a commercial. I'll get up. I don't know. Yeah. I'm just saying, so relating back to this, it's if they saved this title, because is there going to be a rematch? I am almost positive there's going to be a rematch at the special. But if it was just the title match, if it was Styles beating Sabin on today's episode, not winning the title, and then they're like, hey, he just pinned the X Division champion on November 16th. Styles gets a shot at your title now. Like, you lost to him. I think that makes perfect sense, and I think it would have been fine.
Yeah, that would have been fine. I don't like how he did it here. But everything that you were saying reminded me of how like on WCW, they'd always be like, oh, if we run out of time, we'll show you the match on whatever next show. And it never happened. And then one time it did. And you're like, wait, what? I have to watch Pro now to find out.
Yeah, see, that's what I mean.
Saturday night. It's ridiculous. And then I remember one time, I think it involved like Sheamus or something. Like he won a match during a commercial break, but it wasn't picture in picture. It was a legitimate commercial break.
Ooh.
And so they showed like footage from during the break. Like he won during, I was like, oh my God, that's
a lot. But like I said, I do like when they do, you can't just tease this stuff and then never do it.
Right. You have to deliver the tease once to then put it in the fans' mind. Like it happened before.
You never know.
So it could happen again.
Right.
Even though it probably will never happen again. They just do it the one time.
Generally. But anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. So I was pretty disappointed overall.
I know. I will say I do feel like I enjoyed last week's better, which is kind of funny because you look at the card and stuff from last week and you wouldn't expect that, I feel like. But
yeah, this
tends to happen. Usually after the pay-per-view, you have a good one, and then they kind of are weak, and then there's like a good one again, and then we're at pay-per-view again. So
yeah, I think with the final segment with Christian Rhino, it kind of makes this barbed wire cage match feel like hokey now. Especially if there's going to be like a box with their name on it and be like, oh, this is what you can use. Like, I don't know. That's just,
I hate to say
scream
it,
like violence to me or anything.
Why are we adding a stipulation on a stipulation?
Well, that's just a Russo thing. Russo's
I know
philosophy is like, if there's a lot of things going on or a lot of things within a match, people are going to be more into. Like you can't just have two guys wrestling. You need to have a cage. You need to have a ladder or something. And that's why as we continue on here, like especially on pay-per-views, even though pay-per-views are something that you've paid for, there is going to be an increase in stipulations.
Yeah.
On shows.
Yeah.
Like, that's just what's going to end up happening.
Let's just say our list at the end of the year that we normally go is going to exponentially get bigger, I have a feeling, in the next couple months.
Well, right. I mean, just when we did that, when he was booking in Nashville, it was long as shit.
It was. And I was just actually updating it the other day. I had a minute, so I was going through. I was kind of behind because I've been trying to keep track throughout the year for like debuts and stuff like that. And it was already to the point where um, it was like, okay, there's a lot already, and like it's gonna get more. So
No, yeah, it's gonna it's gonna be a lot more. So.
We shall see what happens.
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking forward to next week only because it means we're one step closer to the primetime special, and that means we are one step closer to Genesis. It's coming up fast, and we only got, what, 2 more pay-per-views for the year, Bob. This year is coming up quick.
Yeah, we just have Genesis and then what, Turning Point?
Yeah, I think so.
I think that's what they are going with. So, we're burning through 2006 pretty quick. Obviously, Kurt being here, it's a new era, and as they've said, it's he'll be replacing Jarrett for the potential Reign of Terror, and I don't think I'm gonna necessarily dislike it because it's Kurt fucking Angle, so I'll probably enjoy it more so than the Jarrett one. But all right, next week the fight for the right concludes. We will find out who will, in fact, challenge Sting for the NWA World Title at Genesis. So, until then, for Dallas Gridley, I am Bob Colling Jr., and this has been the TNA Cross the Line podcast.